Hello everyone, it's time for a new topic of Ryan on Gaming. This comes from Spirit of Sun with some underscores in there. He says, Ryan on Gaming topic, what is Sony's current weakness as a company today and how do you think they are strengthening or weakening all of Sony? That's a good topic. Now, so let me tell you, and this isn't even just particular to Sony, I guess. This is particular to a lot of companies when it comes to my personal opinion about companies. And my problem with a lot of them is that a lot of the times these big corporations, these big tech companies, certain particular brands, like it seems like nowadays a lot of them will just throw a lot of ideas at the wall and see what sticks. And that's what's always really bothered me, and that's what I usually like about other companies like I don't know, like Apple or Tesla Motors. Like companies like them, whether you do or do not like them, what I like about them is that they often take a lot of time with a specific product. And if they need the time, they need the time. They're very secretive because they're very careful about what they're doing. They, like the employees that work there typically are very happy. They're treated well, but even more so, it's like they don't release that often. They take a very long time to really figure out what they're trying to do. I mean, with Apple in particular, they take a very long time to release a whole new product category. So yeah, I mean, they release a product every single year, and they have multiple products, but it's not in the same veins of other smartphone manufacturers where they're making 4 or 5 phones every year, of all these different labels and brands and certain different trim levels. Tesla Motors is a great company that's trying to do some really forward-thinking ideas with electric vehicles, but they take a very long time, understandably so, because it's very hard to make a car, but they are very particular about what they're doing. Everything is thought carefully, and a lot of times with Sony and other companies, they don't really do that. They're just releasing products left and right, and a lot of them fail. And that's what it really bothers me usually, is they don't sit down and really think about it and gruel over a design process and really figure something out. A lot of the times they'll just release all this crap and yeah, big surprise, doesn't sell well, and then they cut the price, they have to sell it at a loss, and then the company has problems, and then they're taking losses every quarter. That's kind of where Sony sort of fell into for the past 10 years. I mean, they had a really big downward spiral where they were losing lots of money. They were doing pretty bad. Then Kaz Hirai took over back in 2000, good lord, 12, 11? I don't even remember when he took over president and CEO of the entire corporation, but he took over and he's been really trying to turn it around. He started with selling the Sony Vaio business, which was the PC business. That was a great move there. Don't really need that business, especially since it's not doing that well, and that is sort of a tough market right now. So yeah, get rid of it. Shave off the fat. If you're not doing that well, get rid of it. Their smartphone business has been kind of hit or miss recently. I think they were turning profit the last few quarters in their smartphone business. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. But they're doing very well with smartphones, camera sensors. They make tons of money off that. So you can capitalize on that or something. But with their specific products, really think about it. A lot of the time, of course, I don't work at a lot of these companies, but a lot of times when I see companies release these products, I think to myself, you guys really didn't take that much time to release this thing, did you? There was a quick turnover to get this thing out the door, and you're really just trying to just get to market, and that's the problem, I feel. Just getting to market. If we're gonna talk more specific to PlayStation, because that is, we talk about PlayStation a lot on this channel. That's where Sony's been doing pretty good recently. We all know PlayStation 3 was an absolute wreck, but they really turned it around there by releasing quality first-party titles on it, getting more third-party developer support, and then Sony really learned their lesson when they released the PlayStation 4, making that box not only powerful but affordable, and realizing that the heart and soul of a games console is the developers that support it. So their whole big driving movement with PlayStation 4, and you can see that in the PS4 announcement where they didn't even show the console. They were just talking about, we have listened to developers. We know what they want, and now we're giving it to you. We're giving you all this memory. We're going to work closely with you. We're going to support independent developers. We're going to give them dev kits. That's a certain regard where they've done really, really well. In terms of negative stuff for PlayStation, it's very disjointed and fragmented, that it goes back to the very first Ryan on Gaming topic we ever did, which is that the PlayStation ecosystem is kind of a mess. You know, you got PlayStation Minis, you have the PlayStation Mobile on PlayStation Vita, which is now dead. You've got all these compatibility issues with like PS1 titles, PS1. You know, you can play PS1 discs on every single PS3, but there's one PS3 model that can also play PS2 discs. There's a few PS3 models. There was the 60 gig and then the you know, the 80 gig or whatnot, but that one has certain titles that aren't supported on the 80 gig model. The digital PS1 games, what we were talking about, that's where like you know, the PS3 can play digital PS3. Sorry, my Facebook went off. PS3 can play digital PS2 games or PS1 games, but you know, you can transfer them to PSP, but you know, if you're talking PS Vita, only certain games are supported there. Or no, you can't transfer them to PSP. See what I'm saying? There's way too much shit going on. Even for me, that is PlayStation crazy. I know the ecosystem very well. I really have to sit down and think about it for a second so I don't get confused. Yeah, it's the Vita transfer process. Like certain games with Vita transfer doesn't work. You can't just transfer them over. Sometimes you have to like keep the bubbles uninstalled on PS3, and then you can install them after the fact if you do the connection that way with a hardwire. You know, it's just completely fragmented. Now you got PlayStation Now, so that's their streaming service. You got the premium PS2 games on PS4, and we all thought they were going to do PS2 games on PlayStation Now to make their whole sort of legacy library available, but now no, they're doing it that way. For the longest time on like PS4, you couldn't access premium avatars. You needed a PlayStation 3 to change your avatar. How the messaging system works on PSN. PS3 doesn't know that red messages were on PS4 and whatnot. Like it does, like their devices don't talk to each other the way they should. Their games are completely fragmented in where they can be and where they can be supported. You got PlayStation TV, which was earlier when it came out, it was Vita TV in the East. That was like totally a product that they just kind of threw at the wall to like see if it would work. It didn't work, and it sold like shit, and now it's being discontinued. That's kind of what I'm getting at earlier. Like they just, like a lot of companies just do way too much, and oftentimes they don't really think these things out. And not only do the products fail, but their software fails, because if you don't have like a really good piece of hardware to back it up, then the software that comes out isn't going to help it that much more. Of course, this is just one guy's opinion. I mean, what do I know about running a multi-billion-dollar company? But that's like just the way I see it, and that's what I like about like other companies that really like don't release that often, but they really take their time to figure out what they're trying to do. And guess what? They often release like higher quality products. Anyway, Spirit of Sun, thank you so much for the topic. And if you have a topic for Online Gaming that you would like to submit, I want you to submit it, because guess what? I'm kind of running out of topics. Big surprise there. I can't really come up with these things on my own. I'm not that creative, so I'm going to need you to help me out here, because if you don't, then I can't make these videos anymore. We all don't want that to happen, do we? Do we? Oh, you asshole, don't say that, dude. I want to keep doing them, so just keep submitting topics, please. Please. I'm practically begging at this point. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in my next one. Take it easy, guys and gals.